Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sabina. I am a licensed esthetician. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how much I spent on opening my business. So I have a solo salon suite, and I recently opened that up. So I've been in business for about 2 years, and I've been working with someone, but I decided to kind of go out on my own. So today I'm just going to talk about the things that how much it would cost to actually open up a salon suite in the state of Florida. So just to make that note, I am in the state of Florida. Licenses and things like that cost differently in different states. So just as a side note, just to keep that in mind. Okay, to start, the first thing you're gonna have to really think about is your location. What salon suite you like. If you're gonna be renting from somebody independently, say like another beauty salon or a barbershop, or if you're gonna go to a salon suite like I did, and having that be, or like a bigger brand like the Phoenix Salon, Solo Salon Suites, things like that. So you have to think about the deposit and the first and last month's rent. So for me, that was $2,300. So that is a significant price when you have to think about like your budgeting of how much you want to spend. Think about that amount of how much you're gonna have to actually initially put in just to start the suite. Secondly, it's gonna be your state licenses. So for me, I had to get a business license, which was $400, and then I had to get a salon license as well. So even if you're in a suite, you do have to get a salon license. I got caught up in that a little bit because of some miscommunication, but you do have to get a salon license if you're in the state of Florida, if you're operating a suite, and that was $95. Those are the two major components that I had to pay for right after I secured my location. Okay, going on from there. So you're gonna need insurance. You need to cover everything that you're doing, making sure like that, if any, God forbid, for any accidents or any situations, like you're covered. And just like a medical doctor have insurance, you need to have insurance as well. So like I went through a independent insurance agency that my realtor connected me with. So my insurance for the year is $850. So that was another surprisingly higher rate than I expected. I know some people go with, I believe it's ASPC, which might be a little lower rate, but I just decided to go with this local person that I knew. So that was another fee that I had to think about just before I could even get into the suite, because you have to have that secured before you could get into the suite. I'm looking down because I'm looking at my notes, so just to go back and forth, and like definitely want to make sure that I'm quoting the right numbers for you guys. Okay, business cards. You're gonna need some business cards. I usually use Vistaprint. They're relatively an affordable price. I think I got 100 cards for $20, and I think if you go up to even 500, I think it's like only $30. So think about that. They're not too expensive, so you could use Vistaprint or Zazzle. Those are the two companies I like to use, and they usually always have like a coupon, so you could definitely double check prices there for each one. And then the other thing is going to be your products. So like all the items behind me, my back bar and even my retail products, this stuff, like you have to think about how much you want to spend into that. So I originally only budgeted for $1,000. Then I went to a conference and I met up with some of the brands that I was like really seeking, because I love PCA. There's since I specialize in chemical peels, they specialized in chemical peels for skin of color, and that was one thing that I wanted to provide to my clients. So PCA and Sarcadia was another brand that I was really interested in. So between the two, to get my back bar and my retail price of like my Sarcadia here and then my PCA here, between those two brands, I ended up spending $3,000. It was a hefty amount. I did not budget for that. I wanted to make sure I got all the things at once, and it was such a good, they were giving out deals during the conference that it just made sense to go ahead and spend the money, because one, I needed it, and two, it was a convenient interaction with them to get it from them there. And then also at the end of the day, you are going to need back bar. You are going to need product to start with. If you don't want to start with retail initially, you don't have to, but just know like your back bar is the products that you use on a day-to-day basis. So like all my product here. So my face wash, my toners, everything, like all of that. You're gonna need the larger quantities, the larger sizes, and them in order to get you going and keep you sustainable for a couple months. So just think about that price as well, and also what brands you want to use. There's a lot of brands on the market. I was originally looking at SkinScript, but then I ran into Circadia at the conference. I loved the presentations and I love what they were doing, so I decided to go with Circadia instead. And then at PCA again, I've always liked them from the get-go. I love what they were doing. I love the chemical peels that they provide for skin of color, and they have a lot of research around that. They're just really experts in that arena, and that's what I want to cater to. So I decided to go with them. I'm in Florida, so I'm actually local with Image. Image is another really good brand that you could sign up with. So just think about who you want to use. There's a lot of Facebook groups that for each specific brand that you can kind of jump on and ask different questions. So yeah, just think about that. Each of them require a professional account to open. Some of them have minimums, some of them do not. So Circadia did not have a minimum. At the conference, PCA did have a minimum dollar amount to spend. Eminence, I know, is another very popular brand. They're organic. They do have a starting amount. So I believe their starting amount is $5,000. So as you look into these different brands and you're starting up, just think about how much you want to invest in the product area and making sure that amount matches up with the brand that you want to use. Okay. I decided to do this. I don't think everybody has to, but I decided to separate my phone lines. So I added an app to my phone to create a separate number. So it's just kind of like a Google Voice, but this one actually paid for. That is only $100 a year. So far it's not too bad. I think it's like $9.99 per month. But it allows me to separate my calls, answer them differently, just know who's calling when my phone goes off. So that's one thing that you don't have to do, but I decided to do it. I think it was really helpful, because when I set up business calls with Arcadia, it's nice to know that if I have an appointment, my phone goes off, I could see that it is Monty Beauty, a phone call coming in for Monty Beauty instead of Sabina. Let's see what else. So when you kind of go into decor, I end up budgeting for about $400. I went over that just about $100. So when I talk about decor, I'm just talking about my signage that I have up. So my signage was about $100. Different flower pots, my plants and everything up here, all those different pieces. Just think about how much you want to spend to just make your space look nice and look how you want it to. It doesn't have to be really full. It doesn't have to be jam-packed with different furnitures and things like that, but just think about how you want to present yourself to your clients. I wanted nice shelving. I wanted a lot of space, a lot of storage space. So I got cabinets, I got shelves, and I got this extra shelves for my retail. That was really, really useful. That was only $90 on Amazon. So anything that I could link, I'll put in the description box. But just think about decor, how much you want to spend on decor. And then I actually created a full rundown list of every single supply that I needed, from 4x4, sponges, alcohol, iPad, consent forms, let's see, trash can, card readers, speakers, light bulbs, anything. And I mean every single little detail. I went down and I made a whole running list of. I'm like, okay, I walk into my space. What do I need if I'm gonna sit here? So I need a chair. So to sit here. So I need a chair here. I need a shelf here. So all those things I kept track of to create this running total of what I needed. And that way it helps with my inventory at the end of the day, because I could always check of what I was buying to just go back into my Amazon cart and type in the same search term, or search my pre-orders, my old orders, to find the items that I needed. But all of that, so I had originally budgeted for, so I kind of guesstimated on some of my numbers for my budgeting. So I had budgeted for about $3,400 for everything: broom, dustpan, sheets, towels, stools, tissue, office supplies, dermaplane blades, dental bibs, alcohol wipes, spray bottles, a diffuser, just all the nitty gritty itty bitty details. So I planned about like $3,400 for that, and I just wanted to like, I planned upwards a little bit more just to make sure I was covering. I could know what to expect on like a higher end if I wanted to get nicer or like higher grade items. What I actually ended up spending was $1,600, which was amazing. Now, I'll have to explain that to you a little bit because I got a great deal on a lot of different things. So, as a new esthetician, I knew I wanted to like have a pretty decor and pretty an inviting space and great products. I just knew I didn't want it to spend a ton of money. Like, I'm super cheap. My boyfriend didn't tell you. I'm not spending that kind of money. I'm not spending a ton of money on nothing. So I sat on Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. And you'll be surprised because at the end of the day, like, aesthetics is a growing industry. Like, everybody's in the beauty industry now. Like, even if you're a nail tech, massage therapist, or aesthetics or cosmetologist, like, it's a growing industry. So you're gonna find people online who is either wanting to revamp their space, start getting rid of their old furniture, their old decor. You find different old salons that are closing down that want to get rid of some of their things. So like, I sat on there for about like a month straight, searching and searching and searching, and I was able to find my new salon bed that was brand new for $100, and it was $300 on Amazon. I was able to find these beautiful mirrors that were from originally old salon that were just closing down. I got two of them for $40. They're massive. They're gorgeous. And then I was able to find my cavitation machine. Like, at the end of the day, I wanted one. I needed one for some of my services. I was searching online. I was searching in a lot of different places. Some of the bigger brands, some of the smaller brands. I just couldn't find something that was like within my price range. And I just like randomly typed it in an OfferUp. And lo and behold, somebody who was actually doing that service, who didn't want to provide it anymore, didn't want to offer it anymore, actually was selling the machine. I got it for $300. Yeah, it was amazing. So think about what is local to you. If it's a thrift shop, is it different actual businesses? If you're driving around and checking things out and seeing things are closing, if it's just like marketplace in general, if it's OfferUp, if it's like Go, a lot of those like really small apps that you might think you're just using for like regular day-to-day or your home furniture, you can actually utilize that in putting the same esthetician terms, same cosmetology terms, and actually find a lot of new product on there. Because some people, like, they buy it, they don't want to return it and deal with the fuss of like, you know, a big organization, so they're willing to like just put it on one of these sites and like let go of it. Or if it's a solo esthetician or somebody who's like might have changed careers, like they're willing to get rid of their things. And at the end of the day, you just gotta do a good cleaning, do a nice update on yourself, like sanitize and sanitize and sanitize. But like, a lot of the items I got were brand new. People were just like transitioning out of different industries and things like that. So I was able to save a lot of money just by utilizing those two platforms where I can for some of the product. And then at the end of the day, like, Amazon is great. You can find a ton of things on Amazon, but think about like your local places. So like, some things I would try to find, like office supplies, I was finding them on Amazon for a certain price. I was like, the Dollar Tree is not even half a mile up the street from me. So I just went to Dollar Tree and like found is the same exact things that I needed for like $5. So places like that. So like the Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Family Dollar, like those places that you might not think to get like, oh, do I really want to go there to get things for my spa? They're gonna be the same exact thing on Amazon, but they're just gonna be significantly cheaper, and you can get them that day instead of like waiting, you know, the 2-3 days for shipping. So there's just some of those are some other tips that I would suggest. Trying out local places. I love a good Ross. I love Ross. Ross, I found a lot of like my bedding, like my main cover for my spa bed. A lot of my decor came from Ross. Like this plant came from Ross. Like a lot of different things that just like spruce up the place I got from Ross for that were cheap as well. And again, didn't have to wait on shipping. So at the end of the day, like, for me, the total cost, So with all like the big items, so like my license, my deposit, my product, um, business card, phone, like all those things was about $7,200, and then my supplies in total is about $1,600. So at the end of the day, I budgeted for $10,000 to like start up. Luckily, I got very close to that. Let's see what my official total was. So my official total with everything, like from deposit to supplies, opening up for business and ready for business, was $8,900. So the 10,000 I kind of budgeted for just like, you know, extra random one-off things, but like I got pretty close to that budget. I had saved a ton of money from like my previous job, knowing that I wanted to like transition to this, and I just was very frugal on the areas and how I shopped and like try to create this space. Like I loved my space, and I'm just happy that I was able to create it with staying under budget. So I hope these tips, and I hope like just like my information sharing, how like my process went, was helpful to you guys. If you have any questions, just send them in the comments. You can follow me on Instagram. If you have any ideas for some videos or anything like that, please let me know. And hopefully I can set them up for you guys as like I go on this journey. I would love to share with you guys how things are going and like how I'm progressing. So thanks. Have a good one.